Anyway, I thought tonight it'd be fun to play some Echo Night Beyond, which has ghosts on the moon. Where is that? There we go. Check this out. This is a PS2 game that does... Hang on a sec. Alright, check this out. This is red. Okay. 16 by 9. And C-type controls is twin stick first-person movement. Because the right analog stick is look and turn, left analog stick is move and slide, which is strafe, but yeah. So yeah. This, way ahead of its time. A lot of really nice features for a PS2 game, yeah. I figure I'll start a new game. I managed to get this running in 16 by 9, 1080p. There are cursed controller setups, absolutely. And I think I got the FMVs to display pillar boxed. So those should also be in the correct ratio, because those are not widescreen. But I will see. We'll see how well it works. Femboy videos, that's it, yes. Femboy motion videos. Yeah, so the default control has L2 or X to do actions like open door. Right analog stick only looks up and down. But if you want to strafe left and right, it's L1 and R1. Left analog stick moves you forward and back and turns you left and right. And then the right analog stick left and right doesn't do anything, which is a little cursed. B-type has L1 and R1 strafing, L2 and R2 to look up and down, and the left analog stick to move and turn, which, Armored Core controls? And then there's this one, which is just twin stick controls. Oh my god, thank goodness. The Way Too Good Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. If I click a new game, is it going to play the intro video? Are we going to get that?
I thought I heard someone calling my name. My fiancée, Claudia, and I were on a space trip.
Love a space trip.
Suddenly,
Trip to space.
there was an intense shock and roaring sound. A massive shock as the shuttle crashed onto the moon. That's all I remember.
Fun fact, this is a sequel to Catherine.
Starting to come to. But I can't sense that Claudia's here anywhere.
I think it'll show up in a second sweep view? I'm not sure. Should have figured out how parries work. Oh god.
You know what? Uses right analog stick to
There
turn
it
the
is.
gun.
I'm sorry, that took so long. Let's Just like the ring, but in space. So it's the moon, but it's full of ghosts. Sequel to what? That game, Catherine? You know where the guy falls asleep and imagines that he's a sheep and then gets chased by Catherine? But not his girlfriend, Catherine. The Catherine that he's cheating on his girlfriend, Catherine, with. You remember? Remember that one? One of those endings, you go to the moon. You take a trip to space, I swear. Okay, so I fixed the interlacing. The game should look good now. Okay. I think the game should look good. Get ye flask. You can't get ye flask.
Thank you for choosing Long Line for your flight today.
Oh. It's much better now. Thanks.
I was disappointed Catherine wasn't more influential. Puzzle games should be hornier. Much, much hornier.
I think I agree with that. Catherine's got a weirdly competitive multiplayer scene. Oh good, they're still alive. Yeah, I don't want to deal with any robot ghosts, though. Nelia, how are you? Oh my goodness. I've been good, a little bit sick. I hope you're all right. Ghost. And ghostify ya. Gimme that flamsk. What do we got? Promise ring? Claudia's photo. Liz! Hello! Welcome on in, Raiders. It's good to see ya.
Don't forget about the third girlfriend, Catherine, which was a
Go
meme
grab
until
dinner.
it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. My goodness. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, y'all. Moon's fucking haunted. I like how it flew out from inside our mask. You really want to go there? In my restless dreams, I see that moon base. Silent Hill. Just learned right now that if you're watching a VOD of someone who's streaming, you get swept up along with the raid. Oh, goodness. Well, welcome, Ash. How you doing? Silent because it's a vacuum. Oh, true. Do you remember when there was a sequel to Airplane that took place on a space shuttle? Airplane 2, yeah. I don't remember it being great except for one really good joke. I remember it being really dumb, except for one great joke. I need to see if I can find it now. real quick. Real quick. Let me see if I can locate this. Oh jeez. I found it.
Baby sub.
Wah! Baby sub. Oh my goodness. Kate Thierry, thank you so much for 9 months. Welcome back to the Court of Hearts, Your Majesty. Alright, let me see. Here we go. Cool. Okay. Quality's terrible, but that's alright. I think you can get the joke. It's all good. This is my favorite one. Danger. Vacuum. That's the best one in the whole movie. That's the best joke in the whole movie. I love it. It's so stupid. I have watched UHF. Yeah. I mean, it did warn him.
Fight against the suck.
Is that from the movie Beastly? It's weird that there's a third one of these spoof movies between Airplane and The Naked Gun that no one remembers. Was it Spy Hard or Hot Shots? Or what was the other one? There was Dracula Dead and Loving It. Hot Shots is not very good. Hot Shots Part 2, pretty great. Top Secret, that's the other one. Yeah, that's also Leslie Nielsen, right? Those are pretty good. I like a spoof movie.
Well settled this the old marine way. First guy to die loses.
Leslie Nielsen was not in Top Secret. Same director as Airplane and Naked Gun. Okay, interesting. It's a bad game Tuesday. It is a strange game Tuesday. I don't think this game is bad. Oh. I forgot it's an elevator. Okay. I'm sick today. Don't go into the light. Come back. Glaucus, how you doing? There are 3 intensities for your flashlight. That's great. That's cute. Yeah, so far this game is really interesting. It's got twin stick controls for first person, and it displays a native 16:9. It's a PS2 game. Ridiculous. It is set in the future. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, sure. All right. Sure. The epic movie style spoofs just killed the idea dead. I mean, yeah. Yeah, Scary Movie ruined it for everyone. Because those ones are terrible. If you ever feel like cringing yourself inside out, possibly to death, try watching any of the Scary Movies. How did anyone even like those movies? It was a different time. It was such a different time. What's up? What's up? Oh, I better run away. Dang. Okay. What is... Heart rate's, like, out of control. Was that, like, 300 beats per minute? How did you not
But to be
explode?
fair, the old world was dying, and the new world struggled to be born. It was a time of monsters.
I suppose so. Wait a minute. Didn't we turn around and go backwards? Huh. Scary Movie 1 is horrifically transmisogynistic and ableist. And worse. Oh, okay, he's just gonna show up every time. Cool. Gotta get out of here. Okay. Is Family Guy still going? Unfortunately, yes. Oh, it's broken. The joke where the guy cocks the shovel like a shotgun is fucking awesome. Excellent prop gag. Good stuff. Not worth watching the movie for, though. Hello? Probably. AU. Hmm? John Madden. Football. Wireless communications device. It doesn't appear to be working. This was something I was using for communication. It broke before I had a chance to communicate with my research team. Do not think any of them are still alive. That I was using? Or that... Oh! Is the ghost talking to me? Okay. Alright, Nikki, do you want the radio? No. Okay. Casually eats the radio through the helmet. Yum, 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 yum. Monsters? They look like monsters to you? Hey, do you agree with that I was cute? Yeah! Yeah, got him. Hey, Tarlana, how you doing? Okay. What's your favorite scary movie? Recently, Malignant. It's so good. I feel much wider than I should be. Skulldog mask, that sounds cool. I am in a big old spacesuit. Still. Oh, there it goes. Right, there's a run button. Oh, I totally forgot. Looking while at work? Aww. Hope you have a good day at work. Alright, should we use like... Okay. So now what? Oh! Wait a minute. Okay. Okay. He said, alright, so he said, you were on the ship, were you with someone? Maybe we can show him the picture? Maybe look at this photograph? Okay. Okay. There we go. Oh. Brought me to death is a weird term to use, but okay. Yeah, I'm on it. Do you know why some of the ghosts look like 19th century coal miners and others astronauts? Not really sure. I'm thinking, okay, we're on a moon base. There would be like construction workers or that kind of thing when they had to build the moon base, right? Oh. They put the... Okay. We blocked it all the way at the top? This is cute. I gotta say, okay, walking under this thing makes me uncomfortable in a way that like walking under the refrigerator in PT does. Like PT's really good at that kind of thing, and it just reminded me that short message is so not scary at all. Like, I feel like they just didn't have any ideas for what would be frightening. Monitor room. Okay. Oh, it was one of the lights broke. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Okay. So the filtration plant. Dang. Okay, so there's the ghost in the filtration plant. That chases us down. Huh. This is ridiculous. This is silly. Huh. Why is this in the game? This must have taken so much work. Hi, Liz. How are you? You have to, like, when you access this, it has to load all of those other areas. What the hell?
Please insert card key.
Looks like we need a level 2 card. Hmm. Oh. Oh no. It broke. Even in the future, nothing works. Here's your coffee. This game is kind of amazing. Okay, the spaceport, the work area, the energy area, and the residential area. I just came from the work area? Hmm. Lower. Is that area is closed now? Please don't use escalator until electric power is sup. Yeah, the A's look like these. Weird font. Hmm. I have a feeling some of these areas are going to chug. And it's not my computer.
It's been a while.
Hi.
What's the matter with you? You look strange.
Yeah, I'm an
Look for
astronaut.
me? I've been alone since you left. Why don't you come to my room later? It's next to the center hall. We have a lot to catch up on.
Okay. Welcome to the moon. I just got Blue Sky. Congrats! Yeah, Blue Sky has done away with invites. Anybody can join Blue Sky now. Searchlight battery cell. Okay. What do you mean charging? What does that mean charging? Digital calendar. The display isn't working properly, but the calendar seems accurate. 2044? 8? 13? 8, 13, 2044. There's oxygen here. Take off your helmet. I'm not convinced. Is this Lost? I wish. Love Lost. Snorkel lamb. Okay. Yeah, gonna be honest. A room like this would make me feel so much more uncomfortable. I would hate this. I would hate this so much. It does remind me of that Las Vegas underground bunker house. Yo.
Ah, you're here. Please, make yourself at home.
It sounds so chipper. For some reason, the grass texture makes me think of like Phantasy Star Online. Oh, it's got a weird, like, parallaxing effect. Oh! Oh, and there's like a guy. Dudley Tungsten. I don't like Dudley. I don't know. It seems concerning. How are you doing?
Crashed some time ago. A lot of people were aboard. But now,
Yeah.
everybody's dead.
Okay.
And that black shadow. I can manage myself being alone. I'm an android.
Oh.
But I'm glad that you're back.
Oh, okay. Robot.
Since you left, I've been painting pictures here. Pretty pictures, all alone. I don't know why I paint pictures.
For an android? Seems like an interesting thing for an android to do.
Before I knew it, I was painting pictures. You have something that you're looking for, right? Maybe I can help you out. Come back here from time to time. I'll be here, waiting.
Don't sound so sinister when you say
I know
it.
that woman very well. Her name is Claudia Selfer. She's an intelligent woman, well known in mechanical engineering.
Okay. Okay. Did he paint Dudley? Maybe. Hmm. So has this android become self-aware or what? Because, like, if he's making art, I don't know. Would have built him an android friend. That would have been nice. Hello, Mike. How are you? Oh, another battery. I'm concerned about picking up batteries. Because I don't see a battery life for anything that I've got. An android's already self-aware to begin with? Maybe? Depends on the universe, I think. Okay. This game's got kind of a neat visual style to it. I don't know. Yeah. Can't trust this guy if he's doing AI art.
Ever
I
think about how
suppose?
weird it was that Alan Wake had energizers as product placement? Since you'd have to change the batteries for your flashlight every 5 minutes?
It was a little bit weird. But you know what else was weird is the giant Verizon wireless billboards in that fucking game. Is Android a person
Can you
who's turned
hear
into
me
a
now?
robot or a robot made with human characteristics and personality? Generally the latter. Cyborg would be a person turned into a robot. I think. Jeez, I can't believe they let us access all these cameras and shit. This is ridiculous. Huh. All the people in Cyberpunk 2077? Oh, those are just people. Some of them get augmented. Okay, there's like a battery room? This is a big room. Oh! How much you want to bet this guy's gonna attack me? Weird. God, what a weird game. Is this a horror game? Not strictly. I would say probably not.
Please insert.
It's more of a adventure game? But it's got ghosts in it. Hmm. Disconnected power cable. Ooh. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, heart rate's going up. Monthly report logbook. Ooh, this is giving me a little bit of heebies and or jeebies. Just slightly. Hmm.
Solar panels. On the moon? Everyone knows the moon and the sun are the same thing. What are they even there for? I smell a conspiracy.
System reset. Please enter the date.
Ooh, I know this one.
Kiwis, with a kid's menu order of GBs.
Entry confirmed. Deploying solar panels.
Okay. Heebies with a kids menu order of GBs. Solar panels are on? Let's go. I'm glad I knew that I was supposed to figure out what the date was because the calendar was beeping at me. Like, the calendar beeping at me told me that I should be looking at it and figuring out what the date is. Good puzzle design for
I
now.
was
For
just
now.
reminding you that it's your unbirthday today.
Aww. A very merry unbirthday to me. Does that mean you turned on the sun? You bet I did. I just want to make things more difficult for myself. I don't know how I feel about that word anymore. What? So I like in, there was another game we played called Martian Gothic Unification. And in that game, they said that they designed each of the areas of the Mars base with different architectural styles. In order to create like a visual diversity for people living there, which is good for your brain. This is a little weird. I think I've started Martian Gothic like twice on stream and never finished it. Alright, so we need a level 2 key card to get to the basement. We need apparently some kind of key to get in there. Escalators are incredibly high maintenance, yeah. But the cool thing about them is that if they break, they just turn into stairs.
Escalator action.
It is some escalator action. A crazy contraption. The fun is catching. Boltzmann, thank you for 19 months. Welcome back to the Court of Hearts, Your Majesty. Oh, okay. This is where the sign was that said you can't go here. Ah. In reality, would companies do that instead of cutting costs to make everything similar looking modules? I mean, I don't know if we're ever getting a Mars base under capitalism. I don't think that's the thing that's going to happen. Yo, Papa? Papa! Papa! Okay. Hmm. I guess we could check the residential area. Don't have the right rise to run, so technically you're not supposed to use broken escalators. I mean, only under technicality. Yeah. Why is my heart rate going up? Hmm. Hmm. Is this another monitoring panel? Yeah. Okay. Why is this in someone's room? Actually, let me see. This door was locked? No, it was the one across from here. Okay. Hmm. Filtering effect, fog, and lighting makes this game look far better than it has any right to look. I mean, for a PS2 game, yeah, it looks great. Ready mode. This music's quite good. Hmm. Something written on the wall. Yeah, but what? Yeah, but what? This is weird. What is the reason to use these cameras? Like, what are they for? Let's see if Freddy has left his room. Sure, sure. You can see where a hostile ghost is? Maybe? Would I think what I would like to see is maybe, okay, there's a room we can't get into. It requires like a 3-digit code or something. And the 3-digit code is on a post-it note inside the room that's locked. So we have to use the camera to find the code to get into the room. I guess that's what I would like to see from this mechanic at some point. Ooh. Okay. Key card in room 102. Hmm. Oh, that looks cute. That sounds cute, Raptor. Hmm. It's a high-tech version of put newspaper under door, knock key out from other side. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. You know, a good old Pazoozle. This game is wacky. Is this a separate shower from the toilet? And is this a light switch? Doesn't seem to be working. Okay. Oh, thank God. Oh, I lucked out finding what the save points look like. I'm not convinced I ever would have found those. That just looked like, okay, comlink control thing. Okay, so honestly, this just looked like a fire alarm. That is the first time I have found a save. I now know what saves look like. Oh, jeez. Okay, so I guess I don't want to be in the hallway? Ooh. Game's chugging. Okay, there it goes. Crusted. There's a magnetic strip across the back of the card. Rad. Okay. Oh, that's chunky. Why the chunk? Room's flooded with slow. I wonder if there's a way to fix that. Eating all that CPU. I think I should try overclocking the cycle rate. That might work. Because I don't know that it's my computer. Well, it's slightly better. Hmm. Still chunky, though. Hmm. Maybe... Hmm. Okay, that, and then that, and that, and do that. Maybe turn that down just a little bit. Hmm. Oh, you gotta do the hacker. I'm in. Interesting. Hmm. That one hasn't helped. Hmm. Math.
Help. Buns trapped me in the sub message and I can't get out. Only you can save me by throwing all of your cards at them.
No! How dare you? No! Heckin'. Gosh and heckin'. My goodness. Jeez. Yeah. Thank you for 29 months, Math. Oh my goodness. Demand tiramisu. I do love tiramisu. Hmm. Do like tiramisu. Okay. Sure. Got it. Okay. Let's see what the hang up is here real quick. Cycles. Okay. Hmm.
Well, Bun, we are on the moon, but Terra miss you.
Aw. Okay, that's 100% GS? Hmm. So what's that then? Oh, sorry about this. Hmm. GPU readbacks. Okay. I
just want to kiss the bun.
Ah. Okay. Ah. How do I fix that? Hmm.
Well, I don't know what you're doing, but I wish you much luck of it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to fix the game.
Enjoy.
Tech issues.
Oh. Well, I just want to say that I love you. And dear chat, please inform this bunny that they are the cutest thing in the
don't.
world, because it's true. And that they're smart. Because they're that too.
Heck. Well, this is bothersome. Hmm. I was really sure I had this running properly. Aww. Y'all too sweet. Ah. Hmm. So what would I do to... What would I do to fix that? Hmm. Okay, still running at half speed. Such is the danger of old games, yeah. Okay, what if I scaled down to native resolution and made it look terrible? No, it's the same. How come it's the same? That's weird. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a resolution issue, which is weird. I don't know what else it would be then. Yeah, GPU is only going up to like maybe 50%. Overclock CPU? I tried it at 300% and it helped a little. So let's try cycle skipping at 300%. No, yeah, still the same. Hmm. Very weird. Okay, so now it's running much smoother. Frames per second, 60. Unless I look at the middle of the room and then it's 30. Interesting. Have you tried asking the game nicely? No, never.
Please insert employee ID card.
Wait, let me insert my employee ID card real quick.
ID verified. Ventilation system activated.
Oh. Oh, okay. I guess that fixed the ghost. We have solved the ghost? Weird. Okay. Something about that room specifically that's murdering the frames? Yeah, because it's nice now. running just fine. I'm gonna clock this down just a little bit. Okay, turn off cycle skipping and put this to maybe 180? Yeah, still looks good. Okay. Weird. I guess I exercised the ghosts with the ventilation system, yes. If it was a gas leak the whole time, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Used really complex shaders on the banana on the table. I'm gonna be honest, they may have. Maybe it's like a Final Fantasy XIV, where they just had a really, really complicated flower pot. Black Sheep, way to go. You won't believe our banana effects. The PlayStation 2 is capable of stunning bananas. Okay, it's this room too. This room is also doing this. This frame rate is bananas. Well, I think maybe I should save up for a new graphics card. I think maybe that's what I need to do. Sigh. What are you currently running on? A computer? Gotta get a new graphics card so you can play this game from 2004. Exactly. The fog, it does... Hang on. The fog, it does terrible things, turns them evil. Please let help arrive. Oh no, they're all getting the Silent Hill syndrome. Oh shit. Oh. I've solved the problem. Okay. That would be the light. Solve the problem. Introduced a new problem. New problem is it's dark. Oh, that's funny. I'm assuming it's volume, like, no, it's not dynamic ray tracing, but like, it has to render the shadows differently, I assume. That does make a kind of sense. You know, if you've ever played, the Silent Hill HD collection, which you shouldn't, you should not. Do not. But if you do play the Silent Hill HD collection, it's got this same problem. Specifically in Silent Hill 3, particularly in the sewers, the game just slows down to 1/3 speed if you've got the flashlight on. Fucking ridiculous. Yo, a dispensary? Level 4? You can't get your moonweed unless you're level 4 clearance or higher. Space weed. Played it for about 10 minutes years ago. Yeah, that's probably too much. Probably too much time to put into it. Yeah. Better do something about that cough, but dumb. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. God, I hate that so much.
Access denied. Please insert security key.
Okay. Concrete. Why is the floor so shiny? An antiquated generator. Pills here. Yellow chemical. Do not mix. I got a feeling we might wind up mixing those. Just mopped and waxed the floor. Bun's walking all over it. Oh, it's donut mix. Oh. Oh, that makes sense.
This floor is currently locked. Please insert key. This floor is currently locked.
Oh.
Please insert key.
Oh, I see. Interesting. So this, I guess, is a dead end. Which is good. Because now I can check out some of the other rooms. Alright, so that's the residential area. Weirdly, this room seems to be doing a little better frame rate wise. Donut steel. Spaceport, level 3. Space Coast. There's a bunch of those. We got a bunch of Space Ghosts in this game. Maybe due to less fog? That would make sense. I think we got rid of some of the fog in here, yeah. Interesting. Okay, so we've solved the fog for this area. Got power back. I'm gonna see if maybe our friend here...
You have something that you're looking for, right? Maybe I can help you out. Come back here from time to time.
can help us out a little bit, maybe. No. I guess not. Foxy, there's not a part of the space station that was built over a coal mine. I swear to God. How would there even be coal on the moon? How would coal even get there? Coal meteor? Ridiculous. Is moon dust actually toxic? No, I don't believe so. It's got a very weird texture to it, though. It's called regolith. And I think it's quite soft. It will give you black lung real bad? Interesting. Yeah, probably don't breathe it, I would imagine. Hmm. Yeah, 100% frame rate. Okay, interesting. Reasons similar to asbestos. Okay, so like at a molecular level, it's just incredibly sharp. Does that sound right? Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because there's no air to like sand anything down. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, nothing gets eroded. So what are we doing? Sharp, statically charged, and a little radioactive. Radical. That's good sand. Sign display? What does that mean? Isn't that a washing machine? Is that placeholder text? You know, sign display. I mean, yeah, obviously. My bad. I mean, someone didn't replace the filler text. I think that might be the case. A lot of regolith is also just straight up powdered glass. Jeez. Space is delightfully horrifying. Like, it's fascinating, but, like, also it is anathema to life. You know? Yeah, it's an absolute wonder that we exist. Especially in the way that we do. going from like emerging from like strands of amino acid inside tar pits to figuring out that sand can carry electric information. Over the course of a few million years. Just kind of cool.
Enough with space ghosts. Where's Zorak?
Where's Brack? I like how it says cardboard box, 3 words, backwards. That's fun. Day temperature on the moon is 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and the night is negative 208 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, yes. By technicality. And only because the moon does not have like an ambient temperature. Because you can't really have one of those in a vacuum, right? Yeah, it has a surface temperature, of course. Yeah. I mean, deadly? I mean, yeah, obviously, yes. Being on pretty much any other planet does mean deadly. I don't think I could recommend ever going to another planet. It's probably just a bad idea. It exists? I don't believe it has an atmosphere. I believe it has a magnetosphere. I don't believe it has an atmosphere. I could be wrong, though. There's a lot about space that I don't know. Mercury is a planet that's space cold half of the time and sun hot the other half. You know what I find kind of cool about Mercury? Is that we used to think it was tidally locked. Like that the same side is facing the sun. Like all the time. But it turns out that that's not true. And the reason that we thought that is because both of the times we flew past and observed it, it was facing the same direction towards the sun. So it was just kind of a coincidence. And it turns out I think it's like a 4-to-1 ratio? Or 1-to-4? I don't remember. 2-to-3, okay. That sounds right. Apparently the moon does have a very thin atmosphere of helium, argon, neon, ammonia, methane, and carbon dioxide. Fascinating. Three to two, okay. How did the carbon dioxide get there? all stuff you shouldn't breathe. Most of that is stuff you probably shouldn't breathe, especially in large quantities. A lot of that seems safe in very small quantities. The air you're breathing right now probably contains trace elements of helium, carbon dioxide, and I believe methane. There are very small quantities. Oh, true. In the moon's atmosphere? Yeah, I'd imagine those are very small quantities. Yeah. There's around 300 times as much air just outside the ISS as there is on the moon. Gee. See, numbers like this are just fascinating to me. What do we do with, like, the monthly report and everything? Like, what? Argon is a relatively large part of air. Interesting. I know nitrogen is. Some nebulae are largely comprised of ethanol. Oh god. So, okay. Here's something we can talk about. I watched the new Strange Aeons video. I like Strange Aeons. I find her very, very cool. Her videos are a lot of fun. Cece, how you doing? Delightful to see you. Oh, we love the Bingus. So Strange Aeons has a new video about reality shifters? Is that what they are? The TikTok reality shifting? And I feel like we need to discuss with people what an alternate universe means. We need to, like, have a talk, I think, about what it means for there to be an infinite number of alternate universes. And what that does not mean. Like, in a scientific sense? An alternate universe where Sonic is shadow pregnant. Right, okay, so here's the thing, is that... if there are alternate universes, there are probably an infinite number of them, but the universes do not split necessarily based on human decisions. Like, it's not like, oh, there's a universe where I had eggs for breakfast and a universe where I had pancakes for breakfast. It's more like a universe where this atom is hydrogen and a universe where it has 2 extra electrons. Like, that's what alternate universes mean. And if there's an infinite number of alternate universes, it means that there are universes where of every every instance or orientation of matter in those universes, but it still means that it's all possible universes. It doesn't mean that Hogwarts exists. Because that is not a possible orientation of matter in the universe. That can't happen. Right? There's not a universe where your fandom's real. is what I'm saying.
So you're saying I can't go to Pandora?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, yes. If we assume human choices are ultimately downstream of physics, that is strict determinism, then all possible human choices would be presumably represented, but also the anime dimension is not real. Exactly. But they would be alternate universes not because of human choice, but because neurons fired differently that caused people to make those choices. It's downstream. The choices that we make are influenced by the physics, not the other way around. It's not that there's another universe because we made a choice. It's not like BioShock Infinite. Right? So the funny thing
is, there is no alternate universe where I am my persona?
Yes. Yes, I am implying that, actually. Yeah. Einstein decided many physical constants went sideways, but that mostly just means no life here. Yeah, either no life or no matter. Yeah. So that's a thing. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not convinced that alternate universes are even existent. Do we have an item that would work on this guy? Okay. Is there a universe where we could be friends? It's this one. That's this one. Yeah. Big red button. I do like the big red button on the battery. I don't know what it's for, but I like it. Oh yeah, I noticed. A dark soul, if you will. Actually, that's an interesting point. Okay. I love this series. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I played both previous Echo Knight games and quite enjoyed them. This one's been pretty excellent so far. In the same realm as aliens, whether they exist or not doesn't matter because the chances of us confirming it are extremely low. Yeah, nigh impossible. Oh? Okay. Having a little freak out, that's alright. Okay. Hey, Asma. Seen this game in years. I'm enjoying it. I can't figure out what to do right now, but I am enjoying it. So what we want to find is like a environment control, something like that. Okay. This heart rate is ridiculous. So, like, the existence of alternate universes, as far as I understand it, and I could be wrong because I'm not a physics bun, but as far as I understand, alternate universes exist as a method to explain dark matter. I.e., we've observed the movement and expansion of the universe, and it turns out there should, by our calculations, be more matter in it than there is. No. Okay, do correct me. Okay, here's this fucking guy. Is that the control panel I need to get to? It's to explain quantum waveform collapse. The double slit experiment? Wasn't the double slit experiment also debunked as observational error? No? Okay. So how do I get to that panel then? Matter and antimatter are supposed to completely cancel each other out, but for some reason our universe has slightly more matter. So we just get to exist. Yeah, isn't the occurrence of the Big Bang because leptons slightly outnumber anti-leptons? Oops. This is my first time playing this, yeah. That's after the Big Bang? Okay. Well, I'm just dumb then. I'm just a dumb bunny. I don't know what I'm talking about then. Quantum mechanics indeterminism. And if there were extra dimensions or space or intrusive other universes, there would be changes in energy output that we just don't see. Right, the way that I understood it was that the existence of dark matter could be matter from other universes interacting with our own, which is a way to explain why there's more matter than we observe in the universe, or why gravity behaves as though there is more matter in the universe than we observe. But that was just my understanding. So I'm probably wrong. But then we went and found almost 20% of dark matter because it turns out there's way more hydrogen in the universe than we thought there was. So like I think we're just going to wind up discovering all dark matter probably. We're probably just going to find all the dark matter. None of this explains why there's ghosts on the moon. I mean, you know, you're right. We've not explained that, you know. So some of the dark matter is just not dark matter, it's just hydrogen. As far as I am aware, and again, I'm not very good at science, so don't believe me, but...
All I know is that the creation of the universe has made a lot of people very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move.
It's a pretty bad idea, yeah. It's the name for unaccounted for mass. Exactly, yeah.
Ghosts go in, ghosts go out. You can't explain that.
Your science can't explain that. Alright, maybe... Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna make it past this thing. Okay. Maybe we should try something else. A lot of weirdness in physics. Wait a minute. Gravity isn't strictly speaking a force, it's something that produces force-like effects. Yes. And that's different if you're talking about Newtonian gravity or relativistic gravity. Relativistic gravity has basically supplanted Newtonian gravity as being more accurate. However, in most applications, Newtonian gravity still is functionally similar. Gravity, electromagnetism, weak and strong. Those are the four forces. That's thems. Joe Bro Gamer, thank you for the follow, my fur and whiskers. How you doing? PBS Spacetime has a bunch of videos about these topics if you're interested. I am interested. Classical and modern, I'm sorry. Everything I learned about physics came from a series of videos by the Bell Telephone Company in 1949. Actually, I wonder if those are public domain. I wonder if we could watch those now. Maybe we could just watch some science videos together. No numbers. I reject physics. Welcome back. Thank you. I am feeling a bit better, yes. Still a little coffee, but that's all right. Haven't been any noteworthy scientific discoveries since 1949. They're actually pretty good, I think. Is this game related to Echo? I don't think so. This is a FromSoft game, actually. From the makers of Dark Souls. And probably closer related to Kingsfield.
Hemloss 3.
If gravity isn't a force in like string M theory, then I don't care because those are math. Oh, string theory is a bunch of bullshit. String theory is so bad it's not even wrong. Yeah, throw that out. Really? Yeah, really. String theory basically was originally pitched as a unifying theory that would unify standard physics with quantum physics, and like explain the difference between those. And there was proof coming any day now. Any day now, in 10 years, we'll totally tie everything together with the string, right? In 10 more years, no problem. And then 10 years later, it was, nope, just another 5 years, don't worry about it. Another 10 years, don't worry about it. And also a bunch of it's just unfalsifiable nonsense. But the reason that it continued is because people were selling books about it. And getting hired by universities who were like, oh, the string theory thing is going to be pretty big. We need to get some string theorists in here. Yeah, I'm fucking shit. Garbo. Nobody has yet disproven the universe is like duct tape, so that's what I choose to believe. So the thing is, I insult string theory by saying it's not even wrong. The fact that it's unfalsifiable makes it bad science. It's bad. It's worse than being incorrect. Low battery. That's a worry. Don't like that. Intercom. Can we use the intercom? No. This lock requires a special key. Regret to inform everyone that string theory is racist. It's gonna get slurp juiced.
Science is falsifiable by default and cannot explain everything, I yell as I trick a bunch of physicists into starring in my documentary about geocentrism.
Izgoo! How are you? Welcome in, Raiders. It's great to see you today. How y'all doing? My goodness. Welcome in for I don't want to say a spooky game, because it's not really. I'm doing pretty good. I'm still getting over being a little bit sick, but I'm having a good time. We're playing this moon-based game and talking about physics, which I am wrong about. I'm quite done.
Hitchhiker 4200 gifted 3 months of tier 1 to Izgoo. They've gifted 4 months in the channel.
Oh my goodness. Hitchhiker, thank you so much for the gift sub. Oh my gosh. You're only wrong in this universe? I mean, physics do be working differently in other universes, theoretically. Which I don't necessarily believe in. I don't know that alternate universes will ever be explanatory. when it comes to physics. And not just, I guess, explanatory, but I don't believe that they will ever be predictive. I don't believe we're ever going to use alternate universes to predict physics interactions. Yeah, it's a fun narrative tool. It's a cool story, but it is I don't see it ever being science. In my opinion. A lot of quantum physics stuff does feel like religion for scientists. So the quantum physics stuff is real. That's provable. That's falsifiable, but hasn't been. And it's incredibly predictive. The only thing about quantum physics that you really need to get into your head, the most complicated part of quantum physics is that what you derive from quantum physics is not... What you derive from quantum physics is probabilities. It's not like, where is this atom, how fast is it moving, and which direction is it moving in? It's, here's the odds that it is in this location. It's the idea that, like, physics isn't quite as exact as, oh, there's an electron. It's a little circle that rotates around these other circles. It's, oh, there is an electron. It exists inside this electron cloud, probably somewhere. There's no way to tell where exactly, but there is a high probability it's in this cloud. Yeah. Exactly. They're more of a probability distribution and not a neat particle zooping around a nucleus. Exactly. Yeah. That's the difference between standard physics and quantum physics, is probably understanding that those things exist probabilistically. And this can be used in science. Because, all right, so think about this, okay? The sun is a fusion reaction. Correct me if I'm wrong. The sun is a fusion reaction that turns hydrogen into helium, which is a fusion reaction that we can do here on Earth. It just requires hydrogen, pressure, and temperature. And it is a thing that we can make happen here. The only problem is that the sun is at a much lower temperature than we would have to do to create that same reaction. And so theoretically, it should be impossible for that reaction to happen inside the sun. However, what's actually happening is, it's not that we need a certain temperature to create this reaction. It's that the reaction becomes more likely the hotter it gets and the more pressure there is. So the odds of an electron binding to create helium becomes more and more and more probable as temperature increases. So on Earth, if we're dealing with like isolated hydrogen, we have to get them to almost 100% in order to have that reaction occur. But the sun is so massive that it needs a single digit or less percentage chance of this happening because it just rolls those dice away more often. Exactly. Because it's so absolutely huge that this like minuscule chance just happens all the time.
Ignore me, I just want, is this like about like the sun randomly producing things like gold just because so much shit's happening on it that it can just happen?
Yeah, mostly just talking about hydrogen reactions.
Yeah. Hello, yes, the Yeem is back briefly. I just want, because I find that stuff very fascinating just because what you were saying, the sun is so big
Yeah.
that, as you say, like, you can get these hydrogen reactions. I was making the comparison that it's the quote from Watchmen where Dr. Manhattan talks about the odds of any one individual person existing being basically the same odds as, like, gold coming into existence out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, I don't know, to me, the fact that the sun does that, and the fact that we're all here listening to this,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all very, very cool, and interesting in a philosophical way.
Yeah.
When you make the odds big enough, crazy shit starts happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the sun is a very big boy. I mean, to some extent, it's like, what are the odds that you and I would have ever met?
Yeah.
The only reason we met was because my roommate in college's fiance at the time, after I'd been on a really, really shite date, was like, I have someone you need to meet.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that was required to happen, and then I had to take you up on it, and now it's been almost 12 years. Like, the odds of any one of those individual things just incredibly low, and yet here we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I love you.
Love you too.
The sun is a deadly laser. Not anymore, there's a blanket.
Oh, I see. Can I ask who asked who out first? Oh, she texted me. What are the odds of you two meeting in this universe? 1? I mean, it's already happened, so the waveform has collapsed. So yeah, it would be 1, right? Alright, so how do I get to the key card door? Oh, man. I feel like I should be able to get to this battery room. This guy's wandering around. I need a level 2 key card. So I have not found anything to do with the radio, the monthly report, the employee ID card, or the yellow chemical. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, can I examine these from my inventory? Casey, hello! How's it going? Oh my gosh, I think I can observe these in my inventory. Alright, oh my god. Bonk! Welcome on in, Raiders, it's so good to see ya! Space Jace, thank you for the follow, my fur and whiskers. How you doing? Notes? Maybe notes? Dudley Tungsten. Oh.
Camels' gestation periods are also 14 months. We just had a camel baby, Paige. What are we naming it?
A camel? Well, Tozu, thank you for the 14 months. Baby cigarettes. Jeez. Mark Camel. Okay. Locations. Recordings. Interesting. I think I figured something out. Monthly report logbook. It must have belonged to a worker here. Okay. Got a bun wave. So the guy that was painted inside the holodeck room is the guy we gave the flask to in the beginning of the game and then who disappeared. So I'm guessing that the ghosts that we like get rid of, like the ghosts that we solve, are gonna show up on the walls of the VR room. I'm guessing. What have you accomplished so far? I've activated the solar panels. I went to the residential area. I activated the... I got rid of the fog in the residential area. Okay, so this guy, Dudley Tungsten, right, okay, this is the guy that I gave the flask to at the beginning of the game.
You have something that you're looking for, right? Maybe I can help you out. Come back here from time to time.
Okay, please help me out, though. What do I do with the chemical? What do I do with the key card?
I know that woman very well. Her name is Claudia Selfer. She's
Claudia?
an intelligent woman, well known in mechanical engineering.
Okay. Interesting. This Echo the Dolphin and Nights into Dreams crossover is strange. It would be too, though. Man, the Echo games are ridiculous. Okay. Echo scared me as a child. I can understand that. It starts out as like a cute dolphin game, and then they go, no. No. Space aliens. No, 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 no. You thought this was a cute dolphin game? Fucking space aliens. Yeah, the space aliens that want to devour all life in the ocean. The what? Okay, so I've been to all of these rooms. And the elevator lobby. And the renovation area. Okay. So we can't get in there because we need the security key. What's that then? Is that where we picked up? That's where we picked up the chemical, I thought. Okay. Is the plot weirder if it's got aliens or if it's got ghosts? a good question. Kind of depends on the context. At least to me. Okay, we've been at room 106 and 105 and the hallway, and 103 and 102. These chairs that swivel every time I get close to them, I swear. Alien ghosts leave this place. But this is our home. I feel like I've accomplished nothing since the last time I saved. Aside from losing battery, apparently. Okay, this door doesn't work at all. Can't get in here. Yeah, I get it. It's still beeping at me. I feel like there should be something I can do over here, but that's a level 4 door. The elevator doesn't let me access any of the other floors. This hallway is blocked off. This door needs a laboratory key. This generator seems like it might need something, but I don't know what. Can't talk into the intercom. Unless there's something I'm missing in one of these bedrooms. But I just don't know. If I can't figure this out, I might take a break. I don't suppose anything that I've got... Is it the work area? That's where I want to go. I don't suppose anything I've got here would be of interest to Nikki. That's a level 2 door. That's the monitor room. This is quite the moon base. Okay. No. Nothing. Nope, used up my med kit now. Okay, cool. Gotta feed the ghost all the chemical. Ghosts love chemical. It's their favorite. This still looks really good for a PS2 game, I gotta say. Alright, just let me pass. Just let me go. Come on. Nyah! I think I hit like 400 BPM. Well, that's misophonic. Hang on a sec. I'm gonna look into something real quick. It's good when your heart vibrates, right? Oh yeah, that's probably good. I think I found what I was looking for. Are hints welcome? Welcome? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I will take a hint for this. The moon. And also Hideo Kojima. Oh my god. Big movie fan. Marcel left you a gift after you fixed the solar panels. Huh. I see. Well, I can go take a look at that. It's good ambience. When you get the Moonlight Butterfly Greatsword? I mean, it's gotta be in here somewhere, right? It's gotta be here somewhere. Shit's spooky. Okay, I'm gonna load my old save because I think I didn't do anything. What's the one on Mars with the 3 playable characters? That's Martian Gothic Unification. Don't ask me how I know. Dun, 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 bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. All right, what if we go check the room near the solar panels? What if we go check that stuff out? Okay. Around here. Obscure game aesthetics? That sounds cute. It's a good game. I think I'm gonna do a little bit more of this, and then if y'all want to watch a video with me, I found those science videos. If y'all want to learn some science from 1958. Oh my god! Video disc! Trip with Dad! Okay. Alright, I know what to do now. Now I'm good to go. It's a UMD! I gotta go find a PlayStation Portable to play this in. Family Guy funny moments on UMD. Dang. Yeah. It's my copy of Little Nicky starring Adam Sandler on UMD. It's the Silent Hill experience. Whoo. Fucking curse. Copy of Pluto Nash. Jeez. Alright. We can put this in the video playback machine. I assume. I love my daddy.
You can use a camera, no?
I know how to use it better than you, Papa.
Papa.
Oh, you do, huh? Well then, make me look good.
I love mine, Papa.
Okay.
Carol, are you happy being with me?
Why? I am happy with you.
What?
Even without Mama here?
Of course, Papa. I never feel lonely when you are with me. Besides, Mama became a star, right? I feel like Mama is watching me.
Yes, she is. I'm glad we are on this trip, Carol.
What a fun space adventure. Wee wee, Papa. Okay. So now, Alright, so now maybe we give the disc to Papa. Do you have to rewind the disc? Be kind, please rewind. No, little German girl, don't go to the ghost space station! Mein God, this is full of the ghosten Spacen! Spacen Ghosten? Dork, yeah, okay, yeah, I mean... Spacengeist. Okay, so now that we've got that disc, now that we've got the disc, we can something. Alright, it's been activated. Okay. Now prepared to something. Okay, maybe the ghost is in here. So what if we play the video in this room? Maybe. I did it. That was a Walkman on the desk? I think it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. Okay. So I think that was what we're supposed to do. Nailed it. Appeasing the restless spirits through item puzzles? Exactly, yes. Alright.
I mean, if I wanted to be a burdensome ghost, I'd make people do item puzzles too, probably.
I don't know, I feel like that'd just be fun. I feel like that would be a good thing to do. You could leave people cool puzzles to do. Okay, so now we've got a hair clip. Yeah, we don't get orbs anymore, interestingly. I would simply show people their graves. Billionaires, right? We gotta get all the billionaires and show them their own graves. You know, from the inside. Just saying. Alright, I think we should take a break so that we could watch something. I think we should watch something fun. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Hang on. Let me get it. Alright, okay. Now I just gotta make sure. Okay, get rid of that. And then, like, maybe. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Aha. Corporate propaganda. Oh no, this is from, well, yeah, kind of. But this is from the 1950s, back when companies would fund scientific education. Could you imagine? Could you even
so how
imagine?
is the night repeating? Because I at first thought that it was just a time loop, but I guess it's ghost repeating actions.
Yeah, it's just ghost. It's just the ghosts. Don't know about this, but yo. So, all right. So we're gonna pick one of these. You mean misinformation? No, actually. No, actually they were funding scientific research. There was a time when companies would do things like sponsor education because they wanted an educated populace to be engineers to create new technology. Weirdly. They had a whole scandal? Who did? Oh, Tyson? Mm-mm. Interesting. So weird to think, but yeah, they did. They did. At one point, they did. They used to sponsor things like museum exhibits and things. So let me see. Do we want to watch? Let me see. About Time, I think, is a cute one. This one's about the weather. This one's about the sun. This one's about blood. That's a cool one. I think this one's DNA. We've got Cosmic Rays. That's a cool one. And what about the alphabet and language? Any preference?
You can't make me learn a fact. I have never known a thing.
Hang on, let me change my my stream thing real quick. Cosmic Rays are neat because you can use them for RNG. You mean bit flipping? All these are going to hit my Mystery Science Theater 3000 loving heart. I think we could start with Cosmic Rays. Cosmic Rays is kind of cool. It's 1957. And I'm going to say, I think these videos... the climate change one's pretty good too. Would you believe that the climate change video talks about anthropogenic climate change? In the 1950s? Seriously. This is just a clip from one of these. I do think climate change is mentioned in full in one of these. Hang on a sec. I'll bet you it's mentioned here. Which episode is this from? Oh, do we have sound? Here we go. That's the episode this is from. Okay. Oh, good stuff.
What would happen if we could change the course of the Gulf Stream or the other great ocean currents, or warm up Hudson Bay with atomic furnaces?
Extremely dangerous questions, because with our present knowledge we have no idea what would happen. Even now, man may be unwittingly changing the world's climate through the waste products of his civilization. Due to our release through factories and automobiles every year of more than 6 billion tons of carbon dioxide, which helps air absorb heat from the sun, our atmosphere seems to be getting warmer.
This is bad?
Well, it's been calculated a few degrees rise in the Earth's temperature would melt the polar ice caps.
Yeah, we knew about this since like the late
And if
1800s.
this
Yeah.
happens, an inland sea would fill a good portion of the Mississippi Valley. Tourists in glass-bottom boats would be viewing the drowned towers of Miami through 150 feet of tropical water. Foreign weather, we're not only dealing with forces of a far greater variety than even the atomic physicist encounters, but with life itself.
Fucking. So, like I said, I like these videos. I think they're pretty good. They admit the gaps in their understanding, and they're a little bit ahead of their time when it comes to some of these topics. They're pretty cool. You want to watch Cosmic Rays? Let's watch Cosmic Rays. I think this one's gonna be fun. I think this will be fun.
Want to see an out-of-this-world true detective story? Well, sharpen your wits and hop on your magic carpet. You've got one, you know. Your imagination.
So these have some really cute little animation in them, and I think you might find them familiar, because
Phantom invaders from outer space.
a lot of them are done by Fritz Freeling.
Master keys to nuclear magic. Adventure, discovery, the greatest 50 years in the history of mankind. But how do we package all that into a show?
It's very simple. We ask your magic screen.
I have. But when it's blank up here, it's blank up...
The magic screen.
Boing. Maybe it isn't so blank up here.
I think this is the first episode. And they're just introducing us to high concepts, stuff like the screen.
Here we are back in Mysteryland, ladies and gentlemen, and man.
Oh, these puppets, oh my god!
Great night, great night. Everybody's got a detective story candidate.
Yo, I
Act
love these.
50, Earl Stanley Gardner, Dorothy Sayers. Everybody's got a candidate as the crowd mills around the famous Academy of Detection Arts and Sciences.
Oh,
And
this
no
is cute.
wonder. Being voted on tonight is the award. The
Legendary
Edgar
Looney Tunes
Award
animator
for
Fritz
the best
Freeling, that's the one.
detective Story of the first half of the 20th century.
Best detective story.
Ed, any word from the judges yet? Take it away, Ed.
Can just barely see the judges. Boy, are they sweating.
It's the weirdest
There they
episode
are.
of Threshold Kids.
This is an absolute bore. These writers,
Mystery schmystery. On the first page, I know who did it. who done it?
you all recognize the chairman, Edgar Allan Poe,
These are
whose
cute.
murders in the Rue Morgue won the first Edgar.
Nevermore, nevermore.
Is this the Midnight Society? I would love Midnight Society tweets as acted by puppets. That'd be so fucking cute.
To his right, Charles Dickens, who gave us one of the strangest detective stories ever penned, The Unfinished Mystery of Edwin Drood. And on the chairman's left is Fyodor Mikhailovich Dostoevsky.
I know that guy.
And that golden skull you see on the table, that's the winner's prize, the coveted Edgar.
Of course. That's it. That's us. Gentlemen,
What are you doing?
most honorable judges, we have an entry for you.
Another entry.
What's he talking about?
The contest is closed.
Well, how can it be when we've got the greatest detective
Well,
story
the
of
episode's
last
over.
50 years? The Strange Case of the Cosmic Rays.
Cosmic Rays.
Strange Case of the Cosmic Rays. An excellent title. You realize, of course, the detective story
Very 50s.
has certain requirements.
Analysis, deduction, seemingly
Yeah, I'm just taking a break.
insignificant clues.
That's right.
Well, our story begins with a clue so insignificant, Mr. Poe, it wasn't even noticed for 100 years or more.
The detective story is literature. It must have scope.
Scope, he says. Jim, roll 3. Why, the Cosmic Ray case has helped to revolutionize the modern world. Look, have a look.
This is gonna be cute, isn't it?
Atomic power plants for the future. Atomic subs. Atomic planes. Radioactive drugstores. Isotopes for medicine. And hold on to your hats.
Oh, that one might have been a mistake, actually.
Well, gentlemen, do we qualify?
Theodore?
Нет. Science is for me
Maybe don't do that last one.
A big bore? Why, do you realize that just while you were speaking, the criminal in our case fired 20 atomic bullets through your head?
Good. Holes in the head I like.
And you traced this criminal through that tiny clue you spoke of?
Yes, the story begins as an ordinary theft. Theft from this simple electroscope, a common instrument that's been in use to detect radiation for generations. It's just an airtight jar with an insulated metal rod,
Niet.
from one end of which hang 2 pieces of gold leaf. Now, normally, they hang straight down. Thank you, boy. But as every school kid knows, when an electric charge is put on the rod, so the leaves become charged. Now, as to the detection powers of the electroscope. When radiation is from this piece of uranium, for instance, enters the jar, the air inside is broken up into charged fragments, some of which neutralize the charge on the leaves and cause them to fall. And the stronger the radiation, the faster they fall.
What is this, a schoolroom? Where is the mystery?
Well, the mystery is that when a charged electroscope was put aside, when no known radiation was around, the gold leaves mysteriously lost their charge and collapsed anyway.
The tiny clue.
So,
Just
is
holding some
leaking
uranium, you know, as you do.
electricity. That's a bank robbery?
That's just how science thought of it. Bank robbery. Roll 4.
Just a chunk of raw uranium.
Imagine the charged electroscope as a kind of bank, and the known radiations as thieves, bank robbers. Yeah, there you are. Depositors putting their hard-earned electrons into savings accounts. Wait a minute.
These animations are so cute, though.
Depositor there. That's Miss Ultraviolet Ray. She's one of the slyest of our robbers. Lift the electrons right off your back.
Drop off and have a jolt sometime.
Don't you do it. There's a distant cousin of Violet's over there, Gamma Ray. Ordinary walls don't mean a thing to him. Wow, here comes a real tough bunch in from the hideout. The Uranium Gang. Those hombres have been in and out of the calaboose so often they go by numbers. 234, 235, and 238. I hope 235's not carrying what I think he is. You know, those boys are the atom bomb.
This is funny, I get it.
Help! Help! Sheriff! Robbery! Help! They went that way!
Put on more guards! This thievery has got to stop! Rebuild the bank! Put lead walls around it, 9 feet thick!
So with 9 feet around it, the electroscope bank became the Fort Knox of science. Not one of our robbers was sly enough like Ultraviolet.
Thank you.
Give me Dutch Vanderlei.
Gold Gamma.
Was that voice Mel Blanc? It very well may have been.
To break in.
Very Mel way have been.
No more breaking into my bank.
Help!
Hey, wait a minute. What's wrong now?
Mr. President, another robbery!
Brother, somebody has broken in.
Must be a phantom bandit. A phantom bandit? Get the town marshal, get the army, the navy, call out the Marines. He must be caught.
So who do we think it is?
That is literature?
Well, it's...
The point we're trying to make, gentlemen, is that just a few inches of lead would shield any electroscope from all known radiations, even from the most powerful X-rays. But this new radiation, why, even lead walls 9 feet thick couldn't keep it from crashing through and collapsing the leaves. That meant that some unknown, super-powerful, ghostly radiation was loose in the world.
Where did this phantom come from?
The first
I love the
guess was
puppets.
that
They're
it
so
came
cute.
from some new radioactive element in the Earth. But how to prove this? A Jesuit physicist, Theodor Wolff, thought he had a way. Father Wolff reasoned, if the phantom radiation came from the Earth, the higher you got in the air, the weaker it would be, and the slower it would discharge the leaves of an electroscope.
I love everyone just handling uranium. maybe don't. Maybe just don't. Did they just do this in the 50s? Were the 50s just like this? Because I feel like they kind of were. There's a bunch of instances of people from the 40s and 50s like losing a hat on a roller coaster and then just walking onto the tracks to go grab it. And then just being decapitated, right? I feel like just safety just didn't exist. How did people survive? Holding uranium and drinking mercury through lead pipes. Yeah, of course. There was a children's science kit that came with small samples of uranium. However, I believe it was discontinued after less than a year.
In 1910, the good father went to the foot of the Eiffel Tower. He charged his electroscope and then carefully measured how long it took the unknown radiation to steal the charge from the leaves. Then he climbed and climbed and climbed, and at the top, 1,000 feet above the Earth, he recharged his electroscope. Now, if the unknown radiation came from the Earth, his electroscope should have discharged more slowly. But it didn't. If anything, it discharged faster.
Father Wolff didn't know it, but his legwork was the start of one of the greatest chases in the history of science.
Other investigators, including Victor Francis Hess, decided that the Eiffel Tower just wasn't high enough. So in 1912, Hess borrowed a balloon from the Austrian army. Then he rose past Father Wolff's 1,000 feet.
Is it 1,000 feet? I don't think it's 1,000.
5,000, 10,000, 13, 14, 15,000 feet. There he charged his electroscope again, and he found that its leaves collapsed twice as fast as they did on the ground. At 3 miles up, the ghostly radiation, instead of becoming weaker, was twice as strong.
Okay, so we know probably that the atmosphere is discharging this radiation, right? Because if it's weaker at the ground, it's probably being blocked by the atmosphere.
This really threw the science dicks for a loop.
Space race.
The Phantom Thief couldn't possibly come from the Earth. So where did he come from?
The Eiffel Tower is 1,083 feet tall. Okay.
But please, we're on the
That's good
air.
enough, yeah.
All the networks. Who gets the Edgar?
We are not ready yet. Put on a commercial. Go! Get out!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your bandit is the sort of flying creature, then. A kind of atmospheric Batman?
That was the next guess. that the strange radiation
Batman
originated
reference.
somewhere in our own atmosphere. The argument was settled when a famous American scientist, Robert A. Millikan, took up the chase. Assisted by Ira Bowen, now director of the Palomar and Mount Wilson observatories.
Would they know what Batman is? Possibly. I think this was before the television show, though. Like the Adam West Batman television show. I think this predates it a couple years.
Millikan built an electroscope that would time and record the discharge rate of the leaves and then charge them again automatically.
But the comic book? Yeah, maybe.
Automatic mechanical bloodhound.
And Millikan's talkative bloodhounds, reporting back from balloons 50,000 feet above the plains of Texas.
No, doggo.
And from the deep waters of 2 California mountain lakes.
Transport radioactive samples as personal car.
The rays
Jesus.
could not originate in our own atmosphere.
But where were the rays coming from then? The sun?
No.
Where did you find this? I watched these as a kid. When I was a child. I had some VHS tapes of these.
Is bullets coming? It's easy. Mars.
No. The rays weren't coming from the sun, the moon, a planet, or any single star. Tell them why, Doc.
Well, because observers in every part of the world reported a most curious thing. The ghostly radiation was the same by night as by day, hitting each spot of the Earth continuously with equal force from every direction.
See, which meant they couldn't be coming from any single source. And so the amazed detectives were confronted with super rays whose hideout was the biggest ever imagined. The great open spaces of the entire universe.
Yes, and Millikan, recognizing the extraordinary nature of these rays, christened them cosmic rays.
It's becoming interesting.
What a pity. Real phantoms, and out where no one will ever see them.
Oh, one needn't see a criminal to know him, Charles. His dossier, fingerprints, footprints, methods of operation, mental quirks, often provide police with a more accurate
That's a really good laugh, and I think it's also in one of my favorite movies, The Phantom Tollbooth.
Do the eyes.
A dossier on a ray?
That's exactly what the science detectives were trying to fill in. A dossier. Now, they'd already discovered the criminal's hideout. Merely the whole universe. All right, then. How about physical characteristics? Well, radiation can be either waves or particles. Were the rays waves, weightless energy like ordinary sunlight, or solid particles of matter, tiny...
No, wait, no, hold on a second there. Hold on a second there, buddy. I'm sorry, what? Wait. Wait. Waves like ordinary light? I think we need to update this video. You know, light, which is normal, which is a wave. Yeah, okay, sure. I mean, light is a wave, it's just also, you know, it's also, you know, particles. I mean, it's a particle that behaves like a wave. What are we doing? Oh, I'm learning. I'm educating myself.
Like ordinary sunlight, or solid particles of matter, tiny atomic bullets.
To find the answer to that one, in 1929...
You know, you're an American, you know what a bullet is. This is cute. I don't think these are on Riff Tracks, but I think it's because they're too good. I don't think these videos are particularly bad. Talking about radiation that is particles as vernacular is adequate. It's adequate. Like, for our understanding of the time, this is pretty good, I think.
Characteristics. Well, radiation can be either waves or particles. Were the rays waves, weightless energy like ordinary sunlight, or solid particles of matter, tiny atomic bullets?
To find the answer to that one, in 1929, two German science detectives, Walter Botha and Werner Kohlhörster, rigged up a sort of a cosmic mousetrap.
Mousetrap?
I'll give you a quick version of the heart, at least, of their famous experiment with this modern equipment.
You mean how they found out whether cosmic rays
Very
were
modern.
solid particles or waves?
That's right.
This I gotta see.
Now this is a bank of Geiger counters. The two Germans knew that when electromagnetic waves like X-rays, ultraviolet rays, or gamma rays, waves go through a Geiger counter, only about 1 in 50 of the waves going through could make the counter click.
Did the particles go woo 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 or He's asking if it's a weightless particle or not. Exactly, yes.
1 in 50.
That's right. While solid particles of matter, electrons for instance, would make the counter click every time one went through.
Particles outclick waves 50 to 1.
That's just in one counter. Well, by putting two banks of counters, one above the other like this, and wiring them so that waves of particles have to go through both counters before they can produce a click, they had the answer.
They did?
Well, figure it out. Waves with a 50 to 1 chance of causing a click in one counter, 50 to 1, have about a 2,500 to 1 chance if they have to actuate two counters before they produce the click.
Worse than a daily double.
While solid particles going through both counters, produce
a click each time one goes through. Okay, particles have it by 2,500 to 1. But where does the mousetrap part come in?
Oh, the mousetrap is this thick slab of lead that's slipped in between the two counters. So, now this lead is thick enough to trap all stray...
Like the kind you'd find in your home's breakfast cereal.
...in the lower counters. But the hard-hitting cosmic rays go through it like a bullet through a cracker. I'll switch on the mousetrap, and you can determine for yourselves if the cosmic rays smashing down into this room right now are waves or particles.
What is it about sciencey stuff? This one's about cosmic rays.
Now remember, occasional clicking, waves. Steady clicking, particles.
Particles? Amazing.
Yes, particles. What you are hearing are actual cosmic ray bullets. The same bullets that...
Cut to round table of puppets.
First-rate detection.
And a second entry for the dossier. The invader from outer space is a particle.
These particles is like breadcrumbs, dandruff, or vat.
No, something far more
Va.
than dandruff. By particles, they meant the incredibly tiny bricks of matter that make up all atoms. Sealing wax, cabbages, kings. They're all...
I understood that reference. I got that reference.
Blocks, the lightest of which is the electron with a negative charge. And about 2,000 times heavier is the proton with a positive charge. About the same weight as the proton is the neutron with no charge. Electron, proton, neutron.
But which
I did not. It's a reference to a Lewis Carroll poem from Alice in Wonderland. From The Walrus and the Carpenter, yeah.
These trons was the criminal from outer space. That was the question.
With only 3 suspects, it should have been
Ships and sails and sealing wax of cabbages and kings.
easy to pin down the culprit.
Quite easy, yes.
Might have been, if a complication hadn't arisen.
Ah, complication. Good construction, Fedor.
What have you found out, Mr. Poe? That the particles discharging electroscopes and making these Geiger counters click were not the cosmic invaders from outer space.
Dostoevsky is unimpressed.
Found out that they were the henchmen of the criminal.
Henchmen?
Well, maybe involuntary henchmen. They're really called secondaries. They're bits of
Oh my
air
god.
atoms,
The little...
The henchmen of the
Hang
criminal.
on. Him with his little scotch. That's cute.
Well, maybe involuntary henchmen.
It's just a funny little
But they
touch.
all secondaries. They're bits of air atoms shattered by the primary invaders as they crash into
They
our
really didn't have to.
Which is the villain of your story? I assure you, readers have no such trouble identifying my
Oh, I can turn up
villain.
the volume, yeah.
Take Fagin, for example, in Oliver Twist.
If you'll think of the character you're about to see as Fagin, maybe I can straighten you out. Look out, John. Now, there you see the Earth and its cloak of atmosphere. A constant
Maybe
rain
vodka.
of
Yeah,
cosmic
probably.
particles. Millions and millions and millions of them every second falls on the atmosphere. Now let's take one particle and follow it down in slow motion.
And that is Fagin?
That's right, that's Fagin. He's entering the Earth's atmosphere now. Those round things he's passing are air atoms. The closer you get to Earth, the more there are. Now, he's bound to hit one pretty quick. Watch what happens when he does. There. Got a bad temper, Fagin has. See those little guys taking it on the lam? Those are the secondaries we were talking about. Dozens of them. Bits of air atoms kicked into violent action by a primary.
Ah, I see it now. The primary culprit from outer space is Fagin, and the secondaries from our own air are his henchmen. You see, Fedor?
I see nothing.
Oh, right. And another item for the dossier. Fagin's dossier. His M.O., method
You just
of
had that ready to go, didn't you?
He works through henchmen.
This becomes interesting. A mastermind operating through pawns.
Well, hardly pawns, Mr. Poe. The henchmen themselves were soon found to be incredibly powerful, possessing enormous energy and speed.
Dostoevsky, you are drunk.
Entries for the dossier?
Yeah, for the henchman's dossier. Because now the science detectives found they needed a second dossier. And where do you think they got their entries for the henchman's dossier? Well, it seems that the henchmen leave footprints.
Footprints?
And they were detected by a honey of a device, a cloud chamber.
Cloud chamber?
See here, Mr. Scientist. Are you trying to tell us that invisible cosmic criminals leave visible footprints?
That, perhaps even we might see?
Yes. Sure you can.
Anybody can see them, right in his own kitchen. Soft lights, Doc.
Here's an experiment you can do at home, kids. First, get yourself a block of uranium.
Any kid can make this kind of a 2-bit cloud chamber. Look,
I told you can do this experiment at home, kids.
then a large-mouth jar.
I'm sorry, wait a minute. Okay, wait. What was the first ingredient?
First, you take a piece of dry ice.
With your bare hand! Cool. Why are you touching it? This is fun. Any kid can do this at home in your own kitchen.
Then a large-mouth jar.
You could touch it if you're quick about it. Yeah, sure, but like if you're showing this experiment to children, like this is a video to show to kids, and he's like, any child can do this at home in their own kitchen.
Set the jar on top of the dry ice. Now, it's well to put a piece of black cloth in the bottom of the jar so you can see the tracks better. Now, take a piece of cardboard and saturate it with alcohol. Any kind of alcohol will do.
Just anything you got lying around the house.
Just ordinary rubbing alcohol. Now, take a hot iron. Heat on top, cold on the bottom.
Okay.
Now you wait a few moments for the alcohol vapor to cool and settle.
Kids, just go ahead and handle dry ice, alcohol, and an iron. Any kid can do this at home.
Now, let's flash a light through that. And there you are. cosmic ray footprints.
Snow.
You can't see the actual flying particles, but you can see their tracks.
Much as invisible high-flying jets leave their visible vapor trails, celestial footprints which
Chemtrails.
reveal the jet's speed,
I get it.
height, and direction.
Incredible.
Oh, I must
It is
do
pretty
this
neat.
trick for Tolstoy. It will kill him.
I can't wait to try it on Will Shakespeare.
But it's my trick. I thought it was
True.
Fascinating. But the vapor...
Was this just made by the Department of Defense? No, actually, it was paid for by the Bell Telephone Company in 1957.
tracks all look alike. How could the detectives tell which henchman left which footprints?
Oh, yes, indeed, yes.
Good question, Mr. Poe. White Stock. And the answer was simple but fascinating. A U-magnet. The kind kids pick up nails with.
Why? There was a point in time in America when several large companies wanted more engineers and inventors, so they put out free education. They funded things like museum exhibits, World's Fairs, stuff like that, when it was seen as profitable to have a more educated populace. When companies cared about that kind of thing.
As you probably know, Mr. Poe, between the poles of a magnet, there's a magnetic field as indicated by these lines of force. Now, the detectives knew that when a charged particle enters a magnetic field, its path is bent by the field and bent at right angles to the lines of force. Now, it's bent to the left if its charge is negative, and it's bent to the right if its charge is positive. Well, these scientific detectives reasoned, if they were to put a cloud chamber, this is a tiny model of a cloud chamber.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if we still had this stuff nowadays? If, like, we got a video like this about, like, about, like, muon particles, or, like, we did have Bill Nye. Bill Nye is similar.
In the middle of a very powerful magnetic field,
the footprints would curve.
Exactly, Mr. Poe. The cosmic ray henchman shooting through the cloud chamber would leave curved footprints. Then, by placing a camera here,
look at the little camera,
photographing these cloud tracks, the detectives had an ingenious way of identifying the henchman by analyzing...
Your little flash bulb! Oh my god. Oh, that's cute. Just a little guy.
Their curved footprints.
This I like.
Now, for instance, as you'll see in these actual cloud chamber pictures, this particle had a negative charge because its track curves to the left.
Ah.
This track curves to the right, so its charge was positive.
These are pictures of the actual henchmen, aren't they?
Not of the particles themselves, but of their vapor trails. The footprints they leave behind in the cloud chamber as they're pulled to the right,
This is cute.
to the left by the strong magnets outside the cloud chamber. When the detectives began photographing the henchmen's footprints in their elaborate cloud chambers, now equipped with an ingenious triggering system invented by PMS Blackett of England, GPS Occhialini of Italy.
Are these guys monsters? These guys look like they belong in the Addams Family. Oh my god. No, they're just Italian. They look so tired. They're scientists. Yeah, that makes sense. This is a time when a guy could just be spooky.
Then measuring the amount of bending
They look really
and the thickness
spooky.
of the tracks, they discovered some astounding things. The henchmen were traveling at unheard of speeds.
Speed. Wow.
Finally, from studies of thousands of cloud chamber photographs, the henchmen were identified.
And who do you think they turned out to be? Our old pals. Electron, proton, neutron. Those three building blocks of the universe.
Okay.
Flying bricks of actual matter. Just imagine, yes.
But remember, these energy-packed babies were only the henchmen. Think what superpower boss man Fagin himself must have.
But who was this master criminal?
The wow was necessary, yes.
That was the brain twister. The sleuths had identified the gang, but not the leader. But since he operated way up high, an ocean of air lay between them and Fagin. How to get to him?
I'll give you
Outer space. We gotta go to the moon, boys. Someone tell this man about top and bottom quarks. Moon's haunted. The thing I guess I'm a little confused by is like, okay, so this thing, so from the explanation, these particles are bombarding the air and splitting off the protons, neutrons, and electrons. I don't know if that makes sense to me.
8 to 5, you'll never guess how they trapped him.
A woman, maybe?
Yeah, sort of a mother. To put the finger on Fagin, they used Mother Earth.
Now, just one procliata minuta.
Yes, Mr. Dostoevsky, they actually did use the Earth to find out if Fagin was armed. To find out if he...
They're fissioning the air? Fascinating. Huh. Interesting.
Carried an electric charge, it was just a chunk of neutral matter. Lights, please.
Look at that magnetosphere. Oh my god, that's beautiful. Look what they did. They're really high energy? Okay. See, I'm learning things. I think these videos hold up pretty well, actually. These actually hold up pretty darn well. Like, the information in them even is, like, you know, there's a lot of minutia that's missing, obviously. And a lot of developments in our, a lot of developments in our understanding. But they also are pretty clear when there are gaps in that understanding. Like, I really do like that they, are like, here's the things we know, but here's the things that we theorize or we think we know, or here's where we don't know what this thing is, you know, that they're able to mention that kind of stuff. I find really fascinating. I find that good. This is good. This is decent science. I think this was before they discovered the Van Allen belt. Really? It might have been 1957, maybe.
Now, this is a model of the Earth with its atmospheric shell. This is the vast magnetic field of the Earth. These wires represent the lines of magnetic force. Now, the Earth's field, like any other magnetic field, can bend the path of charged particles that move through it, but not of neutral particles. For instance, a neutral particle,
so like a neutron,
coming from outer space, this is the solid particle, this trailing tube's its track. Now, this neutral particle, having no charge, will shoot through to the Earth's atmosphere in a straight line, as if there were no magnetic.
Look at it go through the atmosphere. That's so cute. They made it poke the atmosphere. This is great. Man, what I like about the magnetosphere, one of the more interesting things about that is that the reason that magnets work is not because either side of them is drawn north or south, but that because of the way they're shaped, there is a flow of magnetism that works like the flow of a river, and the magnet will be oriented with the flow of the river. Like a canoe. It'll right itself in there. I don't know, it's neat.
If the space Fagans were neutral solid particles, they'd be unaffected by the magnetic field, and they'd crash into our atmospheric ocean equally all around the globe.
Sure.
And since each Fagan would create the same average number of henchmen...
What does a compass do in space? Depends on where it is in space. It'll orient itself to magnetic fields, but it depends on how strong the magnetic field is. I believe the sun's magnetic, magnetosphere is quite large.
The resulting henchmen would rain down evenly over the whole Earth below.
Ah, yes. You see, if Fagin were neutral, the henchmen would rain down evenly over the whole Earth.
Charles, please. I have ears. I can hear.
I beg your pardon.
Now, let's see what happens if Fagin is charged.
Ah, yes. Let's see what happens if Fagin is charged, yes.
If the incoming particles were charged, now let's let these little red balls and red tubes represent the charged particles and their paths. If the particles coming in from outer space are charged particles,
no shit, Charles.
Their paths would be bent by the field, as you can see by these few examples here. And the degree of bending is greatest where the particles come in at right angles to the lines of force, as they do here about the equator. As a result, and this is a key point, many of the particles coming in near the equator would have their paths bent so much that they'd miss the shell of the atmosphere completely. Look at this one, for instance.
So they'll be near the poles?
Being so strongly, radically bent that it's gone out and hasn't come at all near our Earth's atmosphere. So too this one, coming in this direction and steaming out here again without ever getting near the atmosphere. While at the poles, charged particles would be bent very little, if at all, because they come in parallel to the lines of force. Look at these, how straight the paths are, compared to the curved paths of those near the equator. So, if the Fagans were charged, more of them would smash into our atmosphere at the poles than at the equator, kicking more henchmen into action beneath them at the poles than at the equator. And this so-called latitude effect could be measured by counting the number of collision pieces that rain down on us at various latitudes at the bottom of our air ocean. Lights, please.
Ah, the more henchmen below, the more Fagans above. Excellent reasoning.
The reasoning was simple compared to the legwork. For Operation Count the Henchmen, the cap-and-gown private eyes didn't just cover one street, one city, one county. They blanketed the whole globe, from pole to pole, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
Look at them go. Look at them make them weather balloons. This is cute. This is so informative. I'm learning a lot. Yo, it sucks they have to count those clicks by hand, though. That must have sucked.
Sifted and evaluated, the data from this global legwork, not counting the professorial bunions, plainly showed that for every 100 henchman particles hitting the Earth at the poles, only 87 struck at the equator. Now that meant there were more Fagans at the poles than at the equator. There was a latitude effect.
And that could only mean that at least some of the space invaders were charged.
The detectives were closing in. The master crook was armed with an electric charge.
That means Fagin couldn't be a neutron.
Right, Mr. Poe. A neutron has no charge.
Then he must be a proton.
Every time they say it, I feel like they're getting closer to saying a slur.
Or an electron.
100 rubles says Fagin is a proton.
Covered with 2 pounds, my friend. I say he's an electron.
3 pounds. Takes 3 pounds.
2, Fedor, 2.
Well, we'll soon know. Now, Dr. Research, was Fagin's charge positive or negative?
Yes.
And wait till you hear how the learned Hawkshaws solved that problem. And with the Earth again. Go ahead, Doc.
Let's turn over
This
our
was the
globe
late
in its
50s, yeah.
magnetic field so that we're looking down on the South Pole.
Why is this so good? It was made by passionate scientists who wanted to educate talented animators, and they were well funded. I don't know. They just did good work. And like I said, a lot of this animation was, I believe, Fritz Freeling.
Now we already know that an incoming particle with a positive charge would be bent to the right by the magnetic field, or to the left if it had a negative charge. Well then, an Italian physicist, Bruno Rossi, reasoned that if the cosmic rays were positive, the Earth's magnetic field would cause a majority of them to strike from the west, smashing more henchmen into us from the west. While if they were negative, a majority would strike us from the east.
And bingo, the missing clue came in from Mexico.
Yes, where 3 investigators, Arthur Compton, T.H. Johnson, and Luis Alvarez, reported
These are some scientist-ass looking scientists.
came in from the west. That could only mean at least some of the cosmic invaders carried a positive charge.
Fagan's charge was positive. Mystery's clearing up, huh?
Are you sure?
Clearing up is like daylight is mystery for children.
I'm sorry, are you sure though? They're positive.
Mystery's clearing up, huh?
Clearing up is like daylight is mystery for children.
Of course your story's over.
Of your 3 fundamental building blocks, electron, proton, neutron, only one was positively...
Please, let me crush these, excuse the expression, storytellers. Now, you got neutron, no charge. Electron, negative. Proton, positive. So, Fagan is proton. Give me the money.
Not so fast there, Fedor.
Why not?
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Show him the positron still, Doc.
Positron stills?
Now, this is a photograph of a cosmic ray track taken in a cloud chamber on the 2nd of August, 1932, by Professor Carl Anderson at Caltech. Now, the light curved track seems to match the footprint of an electron, but instead of curving to the left in the cloud chamber's magnetic field, as a respectable electron should, this strange particle curved to the right.
Is Humpty Dumpty photograph, maybe? Upside down?
That's one of the most famous photographs in science, Dosty. Got Anderson a Nobel Prize.
The first picture of the tracks of a hitherto unknown particle of matter, a positive electron.
A particle. Positively charged. Why couldn't that be Fagan, Dosty, instead of your proton?
I move we reject the entry.
Second emotion.
Third.
Why, Mr. Poe?
By introducing a new suspect at this late date, you have violated a cardinal rule of the detective story.
Yeah, it's cheating. It's my money.
Yeah, true.
Think of the impact of this discovery, Edgar. Why, it's as if your Detective Dupin, searching for a human criminal, ran across an unknown species of man. It's astounding.
It's cheating.
It was a secret fourth particle.
Matter has been discovered.
Frequently in science, it turns out to be a secret fourth particle. Frequently in science, they're like, okay, it's either going to be A or B, and it turns out to be a hitherto unexamined third thing.
Yes.
And a fourth henchman
This
for
is not
Fagan.
uncommon.
The positron.
Bah! What difference? Positron, proton, pimpleton. This is useful? Is big doings about little nothings.
Now, wait a minute, Dosty. Out of little nothings like this have come the big doings of science. Newton wondering why an apple hits his head.
Bloom.
Out of that came the law of gravitation. Röntgen, in trying to figure out why his photographic plates got fogged, came up with X-rays. Maxwell, tinkering with some tricky equations, came up with the key to television.
And this chase after little particles is the key for something big?
Just about the biggest something man ever ran into, Mr. Dostoevsky. Nuclear force.
Spider-Man, thank you for the follow, my friend.
That's big.
Gotta be some 50s Russophobia. There's probably a little bit of that, yeah.
We've heard rumors about that. Exactly what is meant by force?
That's a large order, Mr. Poe. If I could answer that, I'd be 10 Einsteins rolled in one.
Americans need to stop trying to claim the invention of TV. I think men need to stop trying to claim the invention of TV.
But in general, by force, science means a strange, almost mystic quality or power possessed by matter. It manifests itself in three ways: gravitational force, electromagnetic force, and nuclear force.
Oh, yes, you see the three, yes.
Well,
now, a sense of force can be likened to an arm.
Well, okay, I guess. I guess.
Force exerts its power through individual units, just as an army does through its individual units or soldiers.
I mean, it's four, but...
Gravity, the force that holds the whirling planets in their orbit.
It turns out there was an unexamined fourth thing. A weak nuclear force, yeah.
The smallest individual
I wonder if they're going
unit,
to talk about
the
it.
soldier that does this planet holding is said by some scientists to be the graviton, although this graviton has never been pinned down or observed in any way. Now
they did it. They said that they were like, hey, we think it's this thing, but we don't know yet. They're like, we think it's we theorize a thing, but we just don't know. That's good science. I like that.
if we focus down to just one atom, not large bodies, but just one atom, helium, for instance, another force takes over. Electromagnetic force. Now, this second force keeps the atomic solar system from flying apart.
And the electromagnetic soldier?
That's called the photon. And unlike the graviton, this...
How should we frame our educational metaphor so the everyday American will comprehend the subject matter? Soldiers, bullets, and bombs.
Photon has been measured and directly observed. Now, if we go deep into the heart of the atom, into its nucleus, we come to the third and most sensational force. Nuclear force. That's the force that holds the protons and neutrons locked in the tiny nucleus. The awesome force man is now unlocking for his own use.
There we go.
The force which will surely change the way of life for every man, woman, and child on Earth.
And
wow, it almost did too. Wow, it really almost did.
Soldier?
The soldier that does the holding in nuclear force? That, dramatically enough, came out of the cosmic ray chase, out of tracking down Fagin's henchmen.
Here's the way it happened. And boy, this really rocked the science world. In Japan in 1935, at Osaka University, a genius named Hideki Yukawa sat alone with a pencil and a piece of paper, and he came up with a most amazing prediction. He said that the soldier, the unit of this terrific new force, would appear, believe it or not, as a small particle, a piece of actual matter.
Oh my god, that pronunciation? Oh wait, I know, I need to listen to it again. I need to listen to Americans in the 50s trying to pronounce Japanese. I need this.
Amazing prediction. He said pencil and a university, a world. In Japan in 1935, at Osaka University, a genius named Hideki Yukawa sat...
Okay, Hideki is a little bit weird, but not terrible. This could have been way worse.
Sat alone with a pencil and a piece of paper, and he came up with a most amazing prediction.
Not as bad as I was expecting.
The unit of this terrific new force would appear, believe it or not, as a small particle, a piece of actual matter. He calculated it'd be about 200 times heavier than the electron, and get this, would live about a millionth of a second, then poof, it would disappear, die. Well, this was just too deep even for the highbrows. Yukawa's prediction dropped like a feather in the scientific pond. But meanwhile, the cosmic ray chase was still going on. Since the discovery of the positron, the scientific working stiffs were photographing cloud chamber tracks around the clock to see if there were more new particles among Fagin's henchmen.
Okay, like, I gotta give the credit where it's due. I love that in the scientific community in the late 50s, we're taking a global approach to these discoveries. We're talking about the discoveries made by scientists in Japan, observers in Mexico. Like, these are not all like white people science exclusively. And I appreciate that. I wonder why a Japanese nuclear scientist might not have been received in 1935. You know?
Well,
may have been some politics in play.
The devil.
What are we learning? We're learning about cosmic rays from 1957.
Seth Nedemeyer and Carl Anderson of Caltech and J.C. Street, Denise E. Stevenson of Harvard all came up with a new track at about the same time.
What is it?
A real oddball. The track of a particle more than 200 times heavier than an electron, and which, if you please, lives only a millionth of a second or so.
Yukawa's prediction. His nuclear soldier.
Why, of course.
No, doggone it.
Oh?
This strange new particle, called a mu meson, just didn't behave as Yukawa said it should. It wasn't quite the nuclear soldier he'd predicted.
There was a bit of disappointment on Yukawa's prophetic face. But there was no disappointment in the particle department. The bug-eyed cosmic ray detectives realized that they'd stumbled onto another brand new piece of matter that no one ever dreamed existed. And another henchman for Fagin's rogues gallery, the mu meson.
And then some 10 years later came the happy ending. Happy for the Japanese wizard. It came from the developing tanks of a laboratory in the University of Bristol, England. On photographic plates exposed on the tops of the Bolivian Andes,
I love that phrasing.
the French Pyrenees, 3 astonished cosmic ray hunters, an Englishman, C.F. Powell,
Wizards.
an Italian, G.P.S. Occhialini, and a Brazilian, C.M. Lattice, ran across the track of a quite similar, heavier meson.
What is happening? Yo, that is one wacky particle. I don't think there's a stereotype that the Japanese are wizards. No, they're just using wizard in terms of like somebody who's particularly skilled at a thing. Look at it go. Oh my god. Particle trails are so cool. I love these now.
Ran across the track of a quite similar but heavier meson.
Eureka! This was it. This soldier did obey orders.
This newer particle, it's called a pi meson, did seem to fit Yukawa's equations.
Look at how happy he is.
His prediction came true, and he was awarded a Nobel Prize for it. Now, Mr. Poe, I think I can answer your question. Most people believe that the unit of nuclear force, the tremendously powerful soldier that holds the heart of the atom together, is the pi meson.
Pi meson, yes. And a sixth Fagin henchman got his name on the
Meson.
The pi meson.
But
living
weren't
by the code
detectives a
of
bit
the
confused by all
West.
these odd henchmen of Fagin's?
Yes, I should think they would be, yes.
Confused. They were bewitched, bothered, and bewildered.
Yes, and they still are. Think of it. As late as 1932, science had the universe all neatly wrapped up in 3 little basic packages: electron, proton, neutron. Just 25 years later, in 1957, the number of separate and distinct particles of matter had jumped to at least 20.
Including 2 really out-of-this-world babies. The neutrino, a kind of ghost particle that leaves no footprints, yet apparently zips through lead as if it were butter. And the newly discovered antiproton, which some people think is one of the building blocks of an unseen world, a sort of left-handed world of matter matching the right-handed world we live in.
Yes, not to mention K mesons, tau mesons, hyperons, V particles.
veritable
This
deluge.
is cute.
And no one knows how many more henchmen are going to show up, or what they're going to mean. Scientists are
The Third World was strong at this point in time and developing rapidly. This is just before the Cold War. We got to the part where the U.S. was actively destabilizing countries that were getting a little too politically independent. Yeah. Is that meant to be Einstein? Very possibly. Einstein was one of the scientists that was somewhat against. He would do debates against quantum physicists. Very famously, he said God does not play with dice, referring to the probabilistic nature of quantum sciences.
trying for a Moses to lead them out of the wilderness of nuclear particles.
I says proton.
Yes, yes. What about the detective story? What about Fagin?
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, they nailed Fagin all right. To do it, they went right up through the air ocean and took his picture.
His picture?
Well, perhaps impression is a better word.
Okay, Doc? Impression. With this new detection gadget, it's a cosmic ray emulsion plate. It's very much like an ordinary photographic plate, only it's more sensitive, and it's got a much thicker coating of silver bromide. Now, the aim of the science detectives was to get a flash of old Fagin on here before he smashed into our air atoms. Well, obviously, that meant going very high indeed, way up almost to the top of our atmosphere, where the population of air atoms is very scarce. With these lightweight plates...
These puppets are so good. They put so much work into them. They're only in this episode.
And a new kind of balloon named the Skyhook. They did the trick.
Skyhooks quite easily carry instruments up to 140,000 feet or more and can stay up there for several days.
During which time...
What is this? The Bell Telephone Laboratories Science Hour from 1957.
Police switchboards buzz with flying saucer reports.
Ah, but it's with rockets. Did we really take instruments up into Fagin's home territory? Up to 150 miles. Up to where the emulsion plate is face to face with Fagin himself. From dozens of rocket flights, from literally hundreds of balloon launchings all over the world.
Gosh, I keep forgetting this was orbital technology. Show that celestial dome of the heavens. Who's in charge now? Big old jellyfish.
Pretty clear picture of the master criminal began to emerge after a king-size chase of over 50 years. Here's what Fagin looks like, or rather what his trail looks like, as he smashes through the silver bromide on the photographic plate.
And this is what happens when Fagin hits one of the silver atoms square on the nucleus. Weight for weight.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm taking a break from the game. I'll probably play more next week, but I just wanted to enjoy some of these. These are fun.
He's got the biggest sock in the universe. The first to actually mug Fagin were some Chicago detectives.
Yes, a group of physicists headed by Marcel Shine. From
We'll find out.
microscopic examinations of the tracks left in their emulsions, they announced that most of the Fagins, the primary rays from outer space, were protons, naked hydrogen atoms stripped of their electrons.
Protons! I was right. Give me the money.
No, Fedor,
Yes,
not so
Charles,
fast.
I win the
Order,
money.
gentlemen,
You
you have one
said.
nothing.
Yes.
Order, gentlemen.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
you have
I'll
one
ask him.
say.
I'll ask him.
Order.
Doctor, search me. I was right. No?
Only partially right, Mr. Dostoevsky. In 1948, physicists from the universities of Minnesota and Rochester found other primary tracks, too heavy, too highly charged to be protons. And the most numerous of these were made by naked helium atoms.
Damn.
And in addition, the tracks of still heavier atoms were found. In other words, the Fagins are really
That
atoms.
was so
Common
cool, though.
atoms were found. In other
Oh, look at that. Oh my god. This is so cool.
words, the Fagins are really atoms, common familiar atoms, stripped of their electrons and hurtling through space at unholy speeds. Atomic bullets from beyond the beyond, crashing into us with almost the speed of light.
And when he says crash, he means crash. These cosmic ray babies crack into us with energies of more than 1,000,000 billion electron volts. More than 5 million times as strong as an A-bomb atom. That's our space boy, Fagin. And his identity? Naked atom.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. My money.
But no more amazing than the detectives who tracked him down.
Do you mean to say they actually know where he comes from?
Well, they've got one pretty good idea. Tell them about it, Doc.
Well, many scientists now think the cosmic Fagins are being spawned continuously in our own galaxy, the Milky Way.
Mm-hmm.
They believe that all stars, including our own sun, are constantly casting off particles into space through surface explosions, and that these cast-off star particles, zillions and zillions of them, gradually acquire their cosmic speeds and energies by being bounced back and forth between galactic clouds.
Galactic clouds?
Yes. Our own Milky Way, which looks something like our neighboring galaxy, Andromeda, contains not only billions of stars that spiral around, but also millions of truly enormous galactic clouds composed of dust and gas.
I don't know how true this still is.
These galactic clouds float and swirl through the Milky Way in all directions. Sometimes they look black, and they
I love
obscure
that
the stars
theremin.
behind them. These swirling clouds apparently create gigantic magnetic fields.
Woo.
The late Enrico Fermi, one of the great pioneers of modern science, Fermi suggested that within our Milky Way, gargantuan badminton games go on, in which the players are these huge magnetic fields, and the birds are tiny naked atoms which have been shot into space from erupting stars. And the atoms are naked because the star heat is so intense that atoms can't hang on to their satellite electrons as they do at normal temperatures. When such an atom is exploded into space from a star, it will eventually collide with a magnetic field and bounce off.
That was cute.
It will bounce off with more speed if the field is moving toward it. Years later, it runs into another gigantic field and is sent shooting off in another direction. After 1,000,000 years or so of this being batted back and forth,
This is cute.
these atoms, they're our Fagins, and remember their number is countless, are kicked up to almost the speed of light and sent hurtling through our Milky Way in all directions. And the tiny dot, which is our Earth, moving through space, sails through this myriad of shooting particles, and a tiny fraction of them crash into us as cosmic rays.
Gentlemen, do you realize what this means? The Fagins bombarding us from outer space are pieces of matter from billions of stars. And since these space bullets are the same atomic particles
Yeah, and
we
that
have
creates
on
the
Earth,
Fantastic Four. Yeah,
that means
obviously.
the stars are made of the same stuff we're made of. A part of the eggs you had for breakfast this morning could have come from Orion or from the Big Dipper. And some of the carbon in this young lady's shining red hair, like once upon a time, have been stardust from an exploded supernova. Or from the Southern Cross. Why, you could almost say that in tracking down Fagin, the science detectives uncovered material proof of the oneness of the whole great cosmos.
Mr. Scientist, for highbrows this could be exciting. Maybe. But what is meaning for common people who work, love, hate?
Yes, yes. What is the meaning?
What about the proletariat?
Oh, a very big meaning indeed, Mr. Dostoevsky. It's possible that how people work, love, hate, has been, and is even now being affected by
Workshopping that one for a
cosmic
while.
It's possible that in the millions and billions of years they've been bombarding the Earth, these cosmic space bullets could be partly responsible for evolution by causing mutations, sudden changes, as they smash into our reproductive genes.
My word. Why, Dosty,
Right in the balls.
it's conceivable that your enormous writing talent could be traced to some well-directed cosmic ray hitting your great-grandfather in just the right gene.
My writing?
And one day, 50 years from now, perhaps someone will upwarp in Tick-Tock Clock in Mario 64 because of these cosmic rays.
Cosmic rays?
Do you realize what this would mean philosophically, Edgar? That changes in living things may be controlled by the stars.
And still more significant, Mr. Dickens.
Yes?
Someday, out of the strange
What's a Mario
case of the
64?
cosmic rays, out of this out-of-the-world detective story, may come the answer to the great riddle of what makes the universe tick.
Well, gentlemen, how about it? Do we get the Edgar?
Charles.
Yes, yes.
I make my vote now.
Yeah, I know. Yet.
No, not yet. Science is for people. I thought it was just for long hairs. I vote yes.
You do?
Yes. A truly remarkable story.
Hey, Doc, did you hear that?
Sweet baby cosmic rays
Big
and out of this
adventure
world
of the
barbecue
human
sauce.
spirit, the mind of man, daring to explore the unknown reaches of the heavens just to track down these tiny particles of stardust, so packed with primeval power, they come winging with the speed of light. Celestial messengers from out where the morning stars sing together.
Good line, Charles. Excellent poetry.
You like it, Fedor?
Yes. But what is the message they bring? And why?
Huh?
What?
Gentlemen, we thank you for a saga of brilliant scientific accomplishment. But
The golden skull at the center of the table is the trophy for the best mystery story.
as a detective story, and that's what we're judging, as a detective story, your tale has a fundamental weakness. Motive.
Motive?
Fedor, they've established no motive for their cosmic Fagans.
But Edgar.
Why do they bombard the Earth?
Edgar, if they knew motive for cosmic rays, they'd have answer to great mystery of creation itself. I vote yes.
I vote no. Their story's unfinished.
Charles, you vote yes. No?
You know, I'm reminded of Isaac Newton.
He's reminded. It's a good story. Give him
Just
the
a moment, Fedor. Just a moment, Fedor. I haven't finished. I'm reminded of Isaac Newton, perhaps the greatest scientific mind that ever lived, and how he humbly described his monumental discoveries as now and then finding a smoother pebble or a prettier shell, while the great ocean of truth lay before me.
Pebbles,
Well,
pebbles.
that great ocean of truth still lies undiscovered before you.
Briefly, Charles, how do you vote?
I vote we invite these gentlemen to come back in 50 years to tell us what new chapters they've added to their cosmic tale.
Ah, excellent, Charles.
Thank you.
Most excellent.
And who will write these new chapters? The young.
Damn, now I'm
The
depressed.
inheritors of all the knowledge and culture of the ages. Of all the dreams and hopes of those who went before us. What an exciting time.
Okay, well, this is a downer now.
What a glorious opportunity to add to man's history, to harness these nuclear
50 years later is 2007. No.
fires for man's use, to accept the challenge of creation, and to use the gifts God gave us to explore the grandest of all frontiers, the universe. For the more we know of creation, the closer we get to the Creator.
3 cheers for Stardust.
Well, okay. I think that ending is supposed to be inspiring. It's a little depressing, though. Yeah, it was inspiring. We did a bad. I don't know if it's our fault. I blame capitalism. Yep, Frank Capra. What do we got here?
The Bell Telephone System takes pride in bringing you this program in its series of shows on science. We wish to express our gratitude to the distinguished Board of Advisors who guide the choice and treatment of scientific matter for the series. Biology and genetics, medicine,
Popeye editor? Oh, that's cute.
Bacteriology and botany, chemistry, geophysics, physics, anthropology, mathematics, engineering.
This is cute. I like this.
On
I
the
like these
program you
videos.
have
These are
just
fun.
seen, our thanks to the special advisors who have suggested and checked the scientific material. The Bell Telephone System is indebted to all these men and to many institutions for the generous support.
I'm wondering how well the anthropology content might have aged. I'm willing to give it a shot. This one's pretty good. I like this one, actually. Hmm. Do I have time for one more? I think maybe we could do one more. Watch Carl Sagan's Cosmos. These are fun. I like these. I might actually get to go to bed. I might go to bed. That's what I might do. I wasn't expecting to co-watch 1950s science education videos. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I like these. I feel like these are pretty well done. These are very cute. It's just a fun dang old time.